still got food in my mouth.
Oops.
Swallow that cherry whole. Didn't even get to chew it. All right,
That's
fair
what
enough.
she said.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh my God.
All right. So anyway, what's going on, everybody? I'm Knight, your favorite. Everybody knows that. Well, actually, that one down there is everybody's favorite. That guy right there. Yeah, Daddy Bro. With us tonight, though, we got Lucian. Lucian, how you doing?
Done all right.
Yeah,
With
yeah.
it, D&D
Yeah.
content.
D&D content.
You
Fair
know.
enough. Awesome. There's nothing wrong with that. So I guess let's start this out though, like on a positive note. The government didn't shut down.
Why would they?
But you
realize even if they shut down, it's only 17% of the total of the government that actually shuts down.
Well, yeah, and you know that it doesn't stop Elon Musk or Trump.
Well, the reason they really didn't do it is because then he would be able to officially say, "Oh, you're not essential." ///.
Yeah. I mean, it's true.
They were smarter than they looked. I was kind of hoping they'd shut it down.
Okay.
Because then Big Brother would have been like,
funny.
"Oh, you want to play this game, do you?"
Uh-huh.
That would have been really funny. That would have been hilarious.
Speaking of funny, what does the Houthi say to the incoming RPG? Hello, come again. Oh, sorry.
Oh, talk about on a positive note.
Oh, that was a beautiful thing.
Yeah, that was great. Dark humor. That was definitely fitting.
It's here.
So, anyways, yeah, that happened. That's a big thing.
Oh, dude, it's getting ugly.
I'm laughing about
They're
it.
doing it DOG doggy style. Someone's getting their butt stuck a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I've always thought about the government like yes, I do watch the White House sitcom, and this is the greatest season that's come.
Oh, dude. Why you haven't been here for our other conversations, have you?
No.
So I'm gonna lay one on you. Tell me what you think of this idea. So the president has determined and basically named the cartels as terrorists, right?
Sure.
So because he's done that legally, he can send tier ones after them. Do you understand what I mean by tier one?
No, not specifically.
So tier one are basically they're ex special forces dudes that kind of have an attitude problem. They tend to be they're like the black ops of the black ops kind of guys.
Okay, yeah.
And when a group of these guys decides they don't like you, it doesn't matter how well lit up it is, doesn't matter who's with you, you're pretty much gone.
Excellent.
So here is my shot, and I keep sending these text messages and emails to Elon and Trump. I'm begging you, please put cameras on the tier ones, right? Every Thursday or Friday night, live stream this shit.
Oh, no.
Call the show tier one, and go get them.
Oh gosh.
Oh, I would
that
love
is.
it. Do you know how much money you could make off that? Think about it.
Oh, it would work. That's the part that terrifies me.
Well,
it would.
I mean, I still think we should use the Roman Colosseum concept for people that are on death row too. I think we should make it a pay-per-view event.
No. No.
Yes. Hang on.
Oh, while he's handling that, hold on.
No.
I got to clear my throat after that one. That was good. Holy cow. You about choked me out there, man. You about choked me out. So, you got the daughter doing it. The Paladin. That's her official name. She is the Paladin.
Yeah, I sent the Paladin.
Yep.
So here's my philosophy on death row. If you've been sitting there for longer than 5 years, I don't care. I've had enough. You're ready to go. It's your time. So we're going to turn it into a pay-for-you event. We're going to put one lead pipe in the middle of the arena. We're going to take 10 of you bastards.
No.
Oh, yes. Oh yeah,
No.
we're gonna take 10 of you dickwads and we're gonna put you in in an enclosed arena. We're gonna have pay-per-view event, right? And you guys have last one standing gets to live till tomorrow. Have a nice freaking day.
No.
Oh yes.
Pay-per-view.
No.
Well, at least until the next episode.
No.
No.
Next day. They get a
Oh,
day.
are we gonna do it every day?
Oh, we're gonna do it every day till they're all gone. We got a lot of people on death row, man.
Do we really?
Oh yeah.
The prison system is a cancer.
Oh, it
That's
is.
for sure.
Well, the bottom line is, I look. There, people like Charlie Manson. There is no redeemable quality there. Sorry, best thing that could happen to him is die. There's these guys in Gitmo. Okay, I don't know if you've been there. I have. They're not friendly people. They're not good people. I don't want to hug one of them either. I want to end them.
Well, I mean, all things considered, you can understand why. But
Well, but that's the bottom line. But we're humane and we're good and enough of this nonsense. Look, everybody talks about us being an imperialistic nation. We're these big bad Billy Boo. You know what? You want to see imperialism? I will show you how the Romans did it, baby. I'll hook you right up.
oh, jeez.
I have no problem. You don't even want to know my border policy. Keep in mind. Keep in mind
This
now.
is why
I live here in
everybody loves
Texas. I live here in Texas, and
Glasser's policy over here. Oh my god.
I am a firm believer in headshots are worth 20 points.
Oh my god.
Oh,
I promise you, I start taking headshots, people stop coming. Promise you.
you got yourself into it, Lucian.
You want to cut? You want to
Yeah,
come
I-
into
I
my
got
country?
myself into this one.
You want to come into my country illegally? You violated the law. You run the risk of God taking a shot at you. By God, I mean my sniper. Because that's what we call him.
Okay.
Yeah, have you ever heard that terminology? Because that's what they usually call him God, and they say, "Hey, God, bring the thunder." Boom, there you go. Bye-bye. See ya.
Well, for us, it was an AC 130, but
Well, okay, well that's a bit overkill. But
yeah, it wasn't overkill for us. Whenever you hear boom, 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 and then you're like just waiting like 2 seconds, and then it's like
for the draw,
yeah,
make sure you have your mouth open so you can catch that, so it doesn't pop your eardrum.
pop your eardrums. Yeah.
I don't miss those days.
Oh man.
Actually, I do a lot.
I'm not going to sit here and say that I don't miss them because I definitely do. There's a lot of things that I do miss about
Yeah,
it.
well, I don't miss the working out and staying skinny and running like a. I hate that stuff. I hate that. I hate all the. I want to be the Deadpool of the military. Maximum effort with minimum drop. I'll wear red so you can't see where I'm bleeding.
Yeah, there you go. He brought his brown pants.
Yay! No, I look, and I get it. There's a lot of people that don't like that mentality. I don't care. I grew up in South Philly, man, and it's not a friendly neighborhood.
Hey, speaking of Philly, though.
Oh God.
Yeah, no. Let's talk about this
Okay.
though. Since AOC and Bernie Mac Sanders is out running the streets, they're going to Republican towns.
Oh, good luck with that.
That's what I was like. You probably it's really dumb for first off. One of the stops that they're making is in Florida, and I was like, Florida is the one state besides Texas you should never go to.
No, they could go to Miami County.
They can go all the way down.
to Dade. There's a bunch of look, don't get it twisted. There's a whole bunch of liberals and I lived in Florida for 13 years. There are liberals everywhere. They're like a cancer. They can't help themselves. And if you're a liberal, I'm not trying to offend. I have no problem with people with liberal sensibilities. It's these wackadoodles that want to tell me that there's 64 genders and they're a two-spirited frog or something.
Oh yeah.
I'm over you guys. Sorry. And I'm not transphobic. I'm not any of that stuff. I'm not going to play into your delusion. I'm sorry you're mentally ill. You need help. And I got a good therapist that can help you.
Oh, oops. I don't know what I just did.
You touched them. Don't touch that. You're not a priest.
Yeah.
He's like,
Hands up, don't shoot.
Pow. But yeah, no, I was very happy with the whole Hootie things. Hootie and the Blowfish got theirs today.
Yeah, but they did. And did you hear that? So right after Trump announced that he was going to, he sent them a letter.
I saw
to try to negotiate. Otherwise, it will get really, really bad. Oh, and the Paladin.
She just had a question. It's all good. Go ahead.
Okay. So, anyways, he said, like, I sent him a letter letting him know, hey, let's negotiate, let's work the deal. Otherwise, it could get really bad. And I don't remember her name, but Maria from Fox News was like, so you're saying you're sending him a threatening letter saying that it's going to get really bad. He said, no. I didn't say that. I said it could get really bad. It could be.
Right.
So, and I'm just like, dude, like what he does with words is perfect because he leaves it open.
Well, he's a troll.
He leaves
and that's
it open.
And that is one of the main reasons people hate him.
I know.
They can't take the fact that somebody can troll like that and be in a position of power because they think that's beneath the office or something. I got news for you. He's just like anybody else.
Yeah.
Well, it's like you read some of this stuff by like I think his name is like John Green.
Okay.
And he talks about like how like power like really works in like governments and kind of stuff. And it's like, guys, did nobody realize that corruption is a function of government? It's not separate.
Absolutely.
It's a function. Like, yes, the government sometimes has to do things like that are unsavory. It's like,
see, but this isn't unsavory. These guys pack the fight. You F around, you find out. Look, man, if there's one thing that history shows us, don't mess the American boats. Ask the Japanese. Just saying.
That's true.
You mess with their boats, we're going to light your country up like a Christmas tree for a while. And you keep it up, I'm going to park 2 carriers off your coast, and I'm going to run sorties for 6 months. And I'll up. You know what the sad thing is, because they're Houthis where they live. If we did that, that would actually be an upgrade for them. Because it'd be glass instead of sand. Just saying.
And glass is more.
And the other thing, I really wish she would have said this in that interview, but she didn't. I was gonna say, you sent them a letter. You're implying that they can read. Most of these morons can't read, and you know how I know that? I freaking lived over there.
Yeah. Oh, that is true.
They don't know shit. Most of these people have an education of like 2 days. Seriously, they know the Quran. Anything outside of the Quran, they don't care. They don't care. And they don't want to learn it. They don't care. And they're taught that way. So you get what you play with. And Iran, hey, I'm looking at you, Pumpkin. You're next.
Oh, no.
Big brother's coming. Huh? Keep messing around, bro. You're going to find out, baby. And the best part is it ain't going to be us. We're going to unleash the Israelis. Have a nice day with that. Because you'll be begging for the U.S. rather than the Israelis. Because if they get a hold of you, they're gonna sprinkle bacon bits all over your freaking country first. That's what they're gonna do. Just saying.
It's true.
I know I'm right.
I know.
I work with them. I know what they think. I know how they think. And I'll tell you right now, they scare the crap out of me. They're scarier than the SF guys we have.
Some of them are.
No, the Mossad guys are nuts. Yeah. They are not.
So yeah. Anyways, there was.
Sorry, I don't mean to. Lucian's like, I don't know what I walked into here.
Yeah. No. Well, because I told him I was like, we talk about D&D, we talk about.
Yeah. Well, you guys look. We can talk about anything you want to talk about. I don't.
No, we're good. We're good.
Night here likes to get me wound up, and I decided to cut him off before he had the chance tonight. Because usually, you'll know because the blood pressure starts to
came prepared.
Look, I'm like, look.
Oh, I always do.
If we're gonna do this, let's get it out of the way and get done. Because I'm not trying to be all wound up tonight. I want to be smooth and mellow.
Oh.
I have no time, but I'm telling you, right? I don't care which side of the aisle you're on. I have no time for you assholes. who sit there and tell me we can't bomb people that want to hurt us. I don't have time for you. Sorry, I'm over you. And if you're an illegal and you come into this country illegally, F around and find out. That's it. You broke the law. Go back to, and I am not a race. I'm an equal opportunity hater. I don't care what you are. If you're a non-citizen and you're here and and that goes for all you little bastards in college who overstayed your effing visas, you especially I dislike. Because you're the little pricks who are getting money from the Iranians and other people to stir shit up. You know what? I can't wait till they name you terrorist and stick your ass in Guantanamo. That's what I want them to do to you.
They already did that though.
Not everybody. I'm just saying they need to start bagging and tagging, like really bagging them. They haven't done that yet. It's coming.
Well, it's
and all these Ivy League schools are getting their money cut off, and they're like, "What are we ever going to do?" Well, why don't you use your $1 billion endowment, prick? Oh, you forgot we know about that? Oh no. Yeah, we know all about it. You Weasley bastards.
Yeah. No, that was actually brought up in the news the other day.
Yeah.
And I thought that was hilarious.
They have like
it all started. Oh, what was it? It was 2 days ago or 3 days ago when the leftist Jews they paraded into Trump Tower and went down to the basement.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, and what they were doing was they were actually trying to say that, like, oh, release what's his name that he got hung up on it.
Yeah, the Syrian dude.
Yeah. Well, he got hung up because, he made terroristic threats, and that's his own fault.
Yep. And I don't want to hear this freedom of speech. You don't get to do that shit.
Yeah, terroristic threats are completely different from freedom of speech.
Now, let me ask you a question. Here's my $5 question. If he can say that kind of stuff and get away with it, can I go out in front of Congress, right out in the road, build a guillotine, and invite Democrats to step up and have a conversation with me? Because if the answer is no, then what he did was a terroristic threat and you shouldn't do that. Now, I would obviously never do that. I'm just using that as an example.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I get that.
There's got to be a line somewhere. And these guys have been crossing it forever, and they've gotten away with it because old Bible Pants Biden was in the White House. Mr. Droopy Drawers doesn't know what fucking country he's in, let alone state. I'm sorry. Mr. Alzheimer's is gone.
Oh, this
Big Brother Orange is in now. You in trouble, bro. And you like him or hate him.
I played Among Us the other day, and I made my character orange.
Yeah.
And put a yellow hat on him and put Trump right, like that's my game name in Among Us now. Is Trump. Yep.
Nope. You're getting murdered every game is what you're doing.
Nope, I haven't been murdered yet.
They're probably scared of you. Where's Elon? They're looking for Elon. Where's Elon? I am so over it. And I'll tell you, I made the mistake again of going on Facebook today, and I shouldn't.
That was a mistake right there.
Well, because I have some friends I keep up with that are in different parts of the world, and some dumbass, and you will remain anonymous because I don't like you. Some dumbass got on my feed and started running off, calling him the N-word. He's a this, he's a that. And I'm like, all right, so I'm going to give you an opportunity to prove that you know what you're talking about. I said to this person, I want you to cite one example of how he is that way. So you know what their response was?
You're talking about the 4-letter Nazi word, right?
Yes, I am. I don't like to say the word because it just adds to the fire.
Yeah.
So I gave them an opportunity. I said, go ahead and show me one example of them being this way. And you know what their response was? Well, you MAGA people get all upset when we call them names. And I'm like, I said, okay, Pumpkin, you had your chance. Now I'm going to prove to you why he's not.
Right.
In the name, it says National Socialist. How is Trump a socialist? You effing moron. First off. Secondly, if he were what you say he is, you would not be around anymore because his secret police would have wound you up in a nice little box and shipped you off to a place and cooked your ass in a ready bake oven. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're right.
And I know this, and here's how I know. I had actual people of that persuasion in my direct family in World War II. Okay? One of my ancestors was Himmler's right-hand man, pretty much. So don't tell me I don't know what one is. They're in my family. Okay? Stop using that term because here's why. There are those people do exist. They do. They're all over northern Germany. You think I'm wrong? The ADF's a good example. They're everywhere. In fact, they're coming to power again. Lucky us.
Yeah,
the bottom line is,
why do you think we pulled out of Würzburg?
Well, yeah, exactly.
But Würzburg is actually southern. But it is still very much.
Yeah, well, they're very old country there.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is, if you use that term and just throw it around like it's nothing, when the real ones come, people aren't gonna have the same fear. They're not gonna have the same response that they need to have.
Mm.
Calling just because they're your adversary and you use that term does not make it so. It just doesn't. You be original. Come up with, you want to call him a fascist? He's not, because you don't know what the word fascist means. First off, is he a thug? Maybe. Maybe. I'll give you that one. Is he a narcissist? Absolutely. But there isn't a single president that's not, dumbass. It comes with the job. You have to be. That's part of the game. These people want power for a reason, because they're narcissistic. There hasn't been a non-narcissistic president in my lifetime, at least.
Just do it.
He's looking. I see the wheels are turning. What are you gonna say? Go ahead and counter me. I'm good with. We can have a conversation about it. Oh, I love it.
Come on, Lucian. What do you got?
I was sitting there and I was like,
they're all narcissists. Every one of them.
Yeah, but it's like I wouldn't.
It's part of their makeup.
Everyone is confident for sure. Confident in what they say.
Except for Biden, because he's an Alzheimer's patient. That's the only exception.
Yeah. He scared the shit out of me, the fact that he was the president.
Why? He was harmless. I used to live in Delaware. He's adult.
Because if there wasn't somebody at least like a minimally like able to remember what was happening, like what are we gonna miss?
Let's just call it what it is. That was Obama's third term. He was running the show in my opinion, behind the curtain.
I wouldn't know.
I don't know. I can't prove that, but that's my theory.
Well, I mean, it gets easier to prove though when you think about it, that there was an actual auto signature.
Well, they all use that, but look, that's people just making up excuses to hate on him. Look, I'm not going to hate. My mama taught me not to abuse the elderly, but in his case, I'll make an exception. All right.
Spitting fire here.
There is no love lost for me with this guy. He is the only group of people that I think are bigger thugs than the Biden family are the Kennedys. They're the only ones that I can think of that are worse, and that were bigger thugs in the government, that were better at making money off the government, that were better at hiding murder off the government. Teddy, you dick. Glad you're dead. How many times do you go to a party and come home and wreck your car and leave the girl in the car and let her drown? Oh, wait, Teddy's done that at least once, right?
Oh,
Chapawicka, is that Chapa? I don't know, Chapa something or other. Am I wrong? Am I spitting not truths? Oh, wait, I am. Look, every time a Kennedy dies, I have a party.
Oh my gosh.
That's how much I like them. And, I used to get into it with my family, my mom and dad especially, because they came from that generation, right? They love JFK. He's greatest things since sliced bread. And I said, tell me one thing he did in his administration in the time he was president. What did he do that was so damn great? Well, it wasn't that. It was that he was young and pretty and banging Marilyn Monroe with his brother. Oh, wait. No, we didn't know about that.
Wait, so that's what made him cool, banging Marilyn Monroe?
No. That's what I said. No, my dad said it was because he was young and vibrant and all this other bullshit. And I said, no, he was a crackhead who had a whore for a wife, who was stupid enough to take his abusive, bullshit. Okay? And yeah, he looked pretty and all that good stuff, but he didn't do shit for us. Now, the Indians, the people in India loved him because he gave them food. He helped them out big time. Did he really do anything for the United States? No, he didn't do shit.
Well, isn't he
Think
the
about.
one that accelerated the expansion to the moon to get there
Did
before
he?
Russia?
Did he really? What did he do?
Don't ask me, man. I'm asking
I'm telling you. What I'm telling you is he didn't do shit. He had absolutely, and that had nothing to do with him. That had to do with money that was already earmarked, by the way, after World War II, because we stole all those little Nazi scientists, by the way, which is unbelievable. Go to Huntsville, in where the rocket areas in Huntsville, Alabama. They're all Germans there. Isn't that special? They're all former Nazi families. That's what lives there, because that's where they went. There's a town here in Texas. I think it's Richardson or something like that. The street signs are in German. You know why? Because there were German POWs. They decided to stay after the war. Bunch of fucking Nazis. Well, why are we tolerating this in our society? Look, I have a policy, and it's a really simple one. If you're a Nazi, I don't want you here. Sorry. Not really sorry.
Yeah.
You want to cook people, you got to go.
The one thing I've been thinking about, like, through this entire conversation is
why am I
thing
here?
that I come back to, which is that there's a lot of words that a lot of people use to hide behind.
Yep.
And it's like I can say I've heard it from the left. I know that there are a lot of other people that aren't like specifically the left that do this. And then especially like when we use that big 4-letter N word. Or
I hate that word.
That it's kind of like, okay, well, are we just saying this because it's a big scary word, or do you actually want to say something real here?
No, they actually, but that's it. That's the problem. They believe this nonsense. It's because, one, they're uneducated idiots. They don't know what the term means.
Yeah.
They don't know the philosophy of the National Socialists, because let me tell you something. And I kid you not, I used to teach graduate school, okay, at the Wilmington University in Delaware. Okay, I taught a bunch of different classes, but one of the things I did it just on my own outside of class, I would take a sheet of statements made by Adolf Hitler and a sheet of statements. Now get it. This is where it gets better. And a sheet of statements made by Hillary Rodham Clinton. Okay, I'd mix them together and ask the student, who said that, Hitler or Clinton? And guess what?
I can tell you because I would fail this.
Yeah, you would. Because keep in mind, Adolf Hitler was anti-smoking. He was all about national health care. He was a vegan.
He was.
Okay. I could go on and on all day about all.
He was a vegan painter on top of that.
Oh, stop.
Yeah.
He believed in he wanted to do a like a UBI, universal basic income. He wanted to try that. They couldn't get it done because of the war. He was a eugenicist. So is Clinton, by the way. She's into eugenics. She won't admit it now, but she is. Her philosophy very much. And if you look at the National Socialist and you look at the current Democratic Party, their ideology matches up almost in lockstep. Almost perfectly. The only major difference, in my opinion, is their less than overt dislike for the Jewish state. Okay, the current left hates the Jews. They hate Israel, right? They want to cut off the money to the Israelis all the time. They constantly go after the Israelis whenever they get the chance. Why do you think that is? Because they harbor anti-Semitics. They do. The right, we don't tolerate them. We kick those dudes to the curb. We go, you want to be an asshole? Go join the Democrats. They're assholes. They'll take you.
You want to be an asshole? There's the door.
Yeah, exactly. And this nonsensical argument that, well, you're homophobic and you're blah, blah. I don't care who you sleep with. I just don't want to know about it.
Yet again, though, it's like some of those words that people hide behind. It's just like, okay, but actually say something.
Mm-hmm.
Actually say something.
Well, they have no platform.
Like, put down some lines of reasoning about like why we shouldn't do this. Don't just say things at me.
Yeah, they don't have that. And this is why they're if you ever watch, if you really pay attention to them when they speak, right? And I'm looking at you, AOC. They're slogan machines. They throw these piffy little phrases out. They throw, and you know where they get that from? Do you know who they get that from? They get that from the Bolsheviks, from the Russian communists.
Oh God, no.
Stalin, Lenin, Trotsky. That's how Marx did his whole spiel. If you think I'm wrong,
that's actually true.
Read if you think I'm wrong, do what I've done. Read the Communist Manifesto and have a good laugh.
Yeah.
You'll be like, wait a minute, AOC said that yesterday. Oh,
yeah.
She says the same stupid shit.
Hold on, or we can really dumb it down to like 6th grade, okay? And just read the book Animal Farm.
Oh,
Animal Farm.
Yeah, no, I'm serious.
We're kind of living that now.
Right, exactly. But I mean, if you
or 1984, if you really want to get specific about it.
I wasn't going to go there. I was trying to dumb it down.
We are definitely. Yeah, no, I get it.
I was trying to dumb it down.
My little figures.
Yeah. So,
but I don't want to rant just on politics because it gets boring.
No, I don't either. But
the bottom line is, I am very happy with what the president did today. I think he should get his gold star and a pat on the back. Go ahead and go blow up some sand dudes. I'm glad with it. Kill the sand people. I'm down.
Star Wars, that shit.
I'm just saying. You guys want to start? Look. You want to start some stuff? I will send you right back to the Stone Ages from which your ideas came from. That's my philosophy on that. You want to act like a 13th century warlord? It's fantastic. I'll make sure you don't have any air conditioning.
I think that especially nowadays, there's a lot to be said about. It's great if people want to be nice. It's great that people do want to be nice, but there is a certain line that it's like, okay, between I'm being nice and this is actively taking more resources than is like this has gone beyond niceties. This is like we're bending over backwards for people that we don't.
Yeah, and you know who else we've been bending over for and taking it forever? It's the damn Europeans. I've had enough of you assholes too. You know what? It's time to pay up or shut the hell up. NATO, I'm looking at every one of the NATO countries. Pay your fair share. Start putting your people in harm's way. Stop relying. Look, the United States of America since World War II has carried the water of every major country in the world. It's time to stop.
Well, I was looking at some article or whatever, and they're talking about how the United States has basically just carried NATO financially. Like,
no shit.
Oh yeah,
we're the only ones that paid the dues for
ridiculous.
70 years.
United States is finally like, guys, like minimum like 2% or whatever the number was,
3%,
like minimum 2%.
Yeah,
GDP. It's like we got to get with it. Yeah. Like let's.
And you know who made them do that? Trump.
Yeah.
And you know why the left? You know why the Europeans hate us?
Because
he's making them pay.
Yeah.
Why is it that Germany kicks our ass in engineering? Oh wait, because they don't have a standing military and they can invest in that. Oh, wait, what? No, that ain't that's a thing. That's a thing. Why isn't Japan so far ahead of us in so many manufacturing things? Well, for starters, because a guy by the name of Drucker, by the way, who went to the big three automakers and they told him to pound sand. So he went to Japan and said, hey, you want to kick their ass? Follow me. And they did back in the 1950s. And because we wouldn't let them have a standing military for a long time, and we dumped all this money into their economy, what do you think is going to happen, dumbass? This is not rocket science. And it is high time that the United States take a step back and say, okay, ladies, y'all have had your shot. I get it. The Europeans are pissy because we're only 250 years old and we kick the shit out of them and everything. Okay? We were a bunch of farmers. We took on the world's greatest superpower because they were idiots and wearing their nice little red coats and marching in lines. And we kicked their ass right back to the pond. You know, I get it. You're still pissed off about that. Get over yourselves, and you need to understand that if you really want to coexist, then you're going to have to participate. You got to be part of the solution, not part of the problem. I understand that they're afraid of Russia, and they should be, okay? But do what the Finns have done. Develop your defenses and flip the bird to them and let them know that if Brother Ruski over there takes a little step towards you, we're going to bomb your ass back to the Stone Age too.
And
Putin only understands power. Yeah. That's what he understands. He is scared to death of power, and he's scared to death of losing his power, which he is quickly losing, by the way. And and the whole Ukrainian thing, I don't want to go too much into this because I get very angry. If you've never been to Ukraine, you don't know what I'm just gonna put it out there. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about, so shut the hell up. It is one of the most corrupt countries on the face of the earth, bar none. Look it up. They are corrupt as hell.
They are.
And to protect them the way we are is incorrect. Sorry.
I can actually, I don't know when this will probably get dropped soon. I don't know when Trump gets to drop all this stuff, but I know that a lot of the stuff that we did overseas is starting to get released.
Yep.
So when this does come out, you guys will see that a lot of the tier ones, like what we were talking about at the start of this, we actually went over there, and the reason why politics are the way that they are right now in Ukraine
it's because
of what we did.
So for a quick history lesson for those that are playing the home game. The Ukrainians democratically, I'm going to say it again, slow, democratically elected a pro-Russian parliament, pro-Russian premier. We didn't like that. So we went in there and stirred some shit up. Go figure.
And it wasn't just that, though. We actually went in there and we made some people go away.
Well, yeah, that's the nice way of putting it.
Well,
yes.
So the bottom line is this: in our infinite wisdom, we select some douchebag who, before he became premier and leader of Ukraine, what was he known for? Oh, he was a stand-up comedian. You think Yeah, Zelensky was a professional. Look up Zelensky's. Look it up. You can see it's all over online. Oh, you'll love it. Oh, it's beautiful stuff too. It makes Benny Hill look funny.
Yeah,
he's a douche.
He was a comedian and a actor.
And this bullshit excuse he used that there was no language problem. You went and talked to Chuck Schumer, and Chuck Schumer whispered in your damn ear and said, "Hey, why don't you start some shit with Trump and we'll have your back." Yeah. They have no power, dumbass.
Yeah. So, but another part to this. There's another part to this though that a lot of people tend to forget. So, one of the key things that happened right before Zelensky actually became the president of Ukraine, Twilight 2000. Yes, we have. We will get there. I promise we will get there. All right. Give me a moment, Jesus. So,
what happened?
So Jesus put in, have you guys heard of Twilight 2000? We have. It's a tabletop RPG that we are going to be playing soon, I think. So anyways, back to this.
Yes.
So Zelensky actually played a part in a show that showed him as a president.
Yep.
And he was loved. He was loved by the people. And they did this all the way up until the Ukraine. Well, I can't say too much without actually saying too much.
Yeah, don't end up in Leavenworth, please.
Did they like Family Guy, but it's
pretty much
essentially, yeah, that's exactly what they did. And because the people loved the show so much, they were like, "Oh, this guy could definitely be president. Like he plays a great president." So they made him a president. And so yeah, there's a lot more that happens in between that. But it happened. The end of the show actually happened 2 weeks before the vote. 2 weeks before the vote. It all happened for a reason. Like it was done for a reason. And I don't know how much. So there's actually a documentary on this as well. And Heather actually knows it, the name of it. But they say that Zelensky is an agent for MI6.
He's a lizard man.
I
don't think he's an MI6 agent. I don't think he's that smart. You're giving him way too much credit. He's a dumbass. He is a puppet dumbass is what he is.
He's most likely a puppet. Yes, I will agree with that.
So the bottom line is the minute he went to the White House and had the big tiff, What did he do? He ran to Europe and he said, "That orange turd was mean to me. I need your money." Why would anyone throw money at Ukraine? Now, I understand why they think they need to throw it at him, because they believe the same nonsense we were told in Vietnam, right? That if you don't stop him here, he's going to keep going. Let me tell you something, Pumpkin. And I'm looking at you, Mr. Putin, because I know you're listening, because you have nothing better to do with your time. If you think for a damn second the United States of America is going to let you roll into Europe and do whatever the hell you want, I promise you a tomahawk suppository. I will personally deliver it. I'll come out of retirement. I will come out of retirement and skull fuck you myself.
Oh my God.
That's what'll happen. Come and get it.
That went there.
I went there. Yes, sir. Yeah. The bottom line is there is no way this is gonna. There's no way we're gonna let that happen. No matter how evil and bad they think Trump is, okay, he will protect them. Even though if I were him, I would let him run right through them. Yeah. Because you made your bed.
Yeah.
You made your bed with these guys. You've been buying Russian oil. You've been kissing up to Putin for a long time. You've been playing into his leftist games. Hey, knock yourself out. You want to be a Ruski? Go ahead and be a Ruski. I don't care. You want to have bloodlines? Knock yourself out. But the bottom line is we won't do that because it would really undermine our economy. And at that point, that's a big no-no. That's like touching the boats. Don't fuck with our economy. Because Brother Trump and Brother Elon will not like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they will come for you. And then you hear the zip of the bag, and that's the end of your ass. Mm-hmm. And look, the Russians are not a threat. They're not the threat you better be worrying about. The ones you better worry about are the ones in China. Because there is no way you're going to have a conventional war with them. Unless they're stupid enough to try and invade Texas. Then we might wipe about half the country out.
Yeah, well, they won't do it. They won't do a conventional war.
Well, they could. It would be very costly, but they could. Grandma's packing. Just warning you guys. You all want to come.
Only a third of their Navy would actually be able to reach our borders. Only a third of their Navy.
Yeah, but a third of their Navy's like the population of California.
Yeah, but are we really worried about California?
No, they can have it.
So, but my point is only a third of their boats could actually reach our shores. But here's the problem. Well, shit, haven't seen that name in forever. Night. Oh yeah, no. Yeah,
I didn't do it.
I didn't either. So, anyways, back to what I was saying. So, a third of their boats could actually reach our shores, but here's the kicker: we would know at least 3 to 6 hours before they actually were able to even touch down.
Oh yeah.
Really? We couldn't find a weather balloon.
Oh god damn.
Just saying.
We knew about the damn weather balloon. Let's be realistic.
No, we didn't know. Silly. His son wasn't working for the communist Chinese government. No, I wouldn't believe that for a second. Oh, by the way, you little cokehead, if you're listening in, I'd love to have a 5-minute conversation with you on my baseball bat sometime.
Oh my God.
Just saying, not saying. In a video game, of course.
Grim. Oh yeah, I know Grim. What? Okay. So Grim is in the chat right now. What are you doing, Grim? Now he's going by Morgan Bass. Am I saying that right? Anyways, I don't even know.
Morgan Bass sounds like a badass.
Grimwolf. Yeah. So, anyways,
Grimwolf, Morgan Bass. That sounds like a freaking Gelfling or something.
Yeah, there you go. All this politics sounds like prologue to the game.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's all Mike's fault. He got me wound up. Damn it.
It is prologue to Twilight 2000. Just so you know.
Now I'm worried. What is Twilight 2000?
Oh, let's get into this. Okay,
I don't know anything about it either.
So we all love D&D. All right.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Well, Twilight was actually before D&D.
What?
Twilight 2000 was before D&D, and it was actually based around believe it or not, the future. It was made in 1970. I think it was 1976.
But
And
D&D's older than that, isn't it?
no, actually, D&D was done in the 80s.
What?
Yeah.
I think you're
Yes,
wrong.
sir.
Oh,
No,
I'm gonna have to look that one up
no.
because I distinct. Maybe I was high or something. I don't. I remember playing it before the 80s.
No.
I'll look it up. It's okay. I
I'm
believe
pulling it up right now.
Nah.
1974.
Yeah, I thought so.
Okay,
Oh,
so
hello.
you're right. You're right. I could have swore it was 1980s, like 1980 something.
No.
1983. I thought it was the year before I was born.
No. Shut up. You're so young. I got T-shirts older than you, bro.
It was originally published in 1974.
Yeah,
But, Twilight.
There's light.
2000.
I didn't.
2000 first release. Oh, actually, it was done in 1984. Okay.
See, you got them backwards.
I do have them backwards. I have them backwards because
you got
I was
the
born in
brain
80.
damage.
I do. I have them backwards. All right. So Twilight 2000 is a war game based in the future. All right.
Oh, this looks like a Red Dawn type thing.
A lot like it.
That's awesome.
And a lot of the weaponry is actually realistic. They put a lot of the real stuff in there.
Ooh,
yeah, you got the saw, you got your M4s, you got your Bradleys, you got
going a little Mac Bolin on it. I like it.
Yeah, dude, I love it. It does the way that they say that it actually plays out is fantastic. And me and Jesus have a game coming up, which I might actually do live through this broadcast, actually, most likely. And where it's actual tabletop, we'll be playing it out. And I forget how. Jesus, you remember? Do you play as a squad or do you play as a single individual with two other people with you? I forget how it goes, but it's something along those lines, right? Where I don't remember if you actually have control over a squad. So it's almost like XCOM, or if you're in control of an actual individual, just solo. So I'm gonna have to look into it. But you roll your I forget what they call it. Essentially, like everything that's ever happened to you since you were a teenager.
Oh my gosh.
It's all rolled out, right? And so you, depending on how you roll, single with two other people. Yeah, okay, single with two other people with you. All right. So you actually have to roll it all out though, like your teenage years, your adult years. If you go military or you go to the public sector, that's all rolled out.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
I want to be a corporate raider.
Corporate raider.
Oh, before I forget, happy Julius Caesar Assassination Day, Ides of March. Congratulations on stabbing him in the face. Just saying.
But it's always just a bright and sunny day. It really is.
What? I just remembered
So-
it's the 15th.
It's so joyous. Look at this horrible thing that happened.
It's not a horrible thing. It's one of the best things that ever happened in the history of humankind. It's actually actually a very important point in history, because if he does not get assassinated, we're probably not speaking English. Just saying. We're probably all Roman still.
Yeah, I mean,
because that set in place a lot of craziness.
Yeah,
which is why we got away from that system. Thank you, Nero. We hate you, amongst others.
Yeah, fair enough. Oh, boss is calling him.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so Twilight 2000 though, I'm excited for it. I will probably be streaming it, maybe from my phone.
Be right back.
Okay, yeah, I got you.
Yeah, because it looks like you could play out some pretty great.
Oh, dude, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. Like a lot of what I read over the past week. I'm
Mhm.
excited. So there's that. What else is there? Jesus, there's more to it than that. I can't remember.
Yeah, because
Uh,
I'm looking at the wiki right now.
oh, well, yeah. I'll get into a
Okay.
lot more for sure. Probably the next podcast, I'll probably be getting into it real deep. Um, just because I got a lot of stuff to go through. Oh, and Jesus, you guys better be ready for the next session. Okay, so let me tell you guys. For those of you that don't know, of course, VD4GM got its kickoff, and we've been doing a in person game of the books I've been writing for D&D. The Mind of Kai is happening in real time in person at a table.
In person
In person
at a real table.
at a real table. Can you believe it?
Those still exist.
You know, but we do use Foundry though. What we do is we have like a big TV, kind of
I
set up like this,
I
up
could
on a table.
never like after like my experience with like doing like D&D online. I don't think I could go back to like
Oh,
doing like like on tables because I'm just like this provides so much convenience and I can get on with like the real kind of like cooperative
yep.
storytelling piece I'm going for here.
Have you done Sigil yet?
Sigil?
Yeah, Project Sigil.
No.
Okay, so Project Sigil is D&D where they actually they just I don't know if I think it's still in beta, where if you bought the pre-release of the new D&D guides, uh
Oh.
you
Okay.
got to download it. So that's what I've done. I got it. Hey, look who's back. Look who's back with us.
Who's back?
Hoorah. So so yes, Project Sigil, I did play around with it. The maps are beautiful. Being able to do what you can do in that is fantastic. I love it.
My one thing that I'm wondering about is how they handled the problem that Foundry's really trying to solve right now. And at least from my perspective, at least, is that like it's like yes, you could get like the VTT from the people who made it. This is definitely how the rules work, but a large part of at least the way I've in my games that I've played, it's like there's a lot of things where it's like the rules of cool, and it's like oh, but this is what we want to happen,
Yeah,
and it's like is this because it's made by the people who made it? Are we going to be able to override things? Are we going to be able to customize things, and into to what degree?
right.
Because it isn't open like the way Foundry is.
Yeah. And that's actually a good question. That's something I'm gonna have to, I guess, play around with to see what we can actually
Yeah.
do with it. Um, one of the things I will say though that I do love about it is the fact that it actually is 3D versus Foundry, which is still technically 2D top down.
I,
Like,
I I get why it's 2D top down. Like I get the idea.
yeah,
3D will always be cooler.
yes, it's so much better. It's so much
like
better. So like the maps that I've actually messed around with building maps in Project Sigil, and they look absolutely stunning.
mhm.
Um, if anybody that knows my background when it comes to D&D and DMing, I am a map builder and a story builder. I will build you a phenomenal story. I will build phenomenal maps, and they will always be beautiful to look at. Attention to every little detail. That's my big thing. So when you come into, in fact, you know what? I can actually do this. Hold on 1 second. I don't know how much time you got with us there, Daddy Bro, but give me a second. Yes, yes. I want to open this, please, so I can share screen.
Yes, open it. Open it up.
I'm going to. I'm going to. It's beautiful. I was
It's
building
so
a map.
dirty.
I was actually building a map before this podcast. Well, went to Costco after I got done building the map. Well, partially built the map, and then
Oh,
go for it. Come on, what you got?
It's powered by Unreal 5.
Yeah.
And so, to me, that says a handful of things. They're probably never going to do modding support.
No.
Don't think I've seen anybody successfully do that.
But and
why? Because it's using Unreal 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Unreal 5
it's
is
too
not
hard. The architecture, the underlying architecture of Unreal 5 makes it too hard to do that.
Oh, you're telling me they're too dumb to figure it out. That's sad. True story.
Yeah. Yeah.
just using AI.
I mean, that's true.
It
AI
doesn't work. You're hurting me. It doesn't work.
The AI is probably getting smart enough to where it can actually do it.
Not now. Probably it can. Give me a break.
I mean,
dude, the things I can do with it, you wouldn't even believe me. You'd be like, "What? Oh yeah, it's happening."
Yeah. I mean, I've been trying.
You know, oh, you're one. Are you a doubter? Are you a non-believer?
I know better.
You know better.
I'm a software developer with 3 certifications in artificial intelligence.
Okay. Well, I've been doing AI since 1990, and working in neural networks. And I'm telling you, I probably
train it to get there.
Absolutely,
100%, you can do that.
And there are probably systems that are already there. In fact, I'm sure there are.
I am of the opinion that there is no construct in artificial intelligence that allows it to really understand problem composition to a point that it can do the kinds of things very well.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
We how long did it take us just to figure out hands?
Well, but that's because
like
I mean, I would argue that we've never truly gotten over the optic problems. I get that. But we don't even look. First off, here's and I'm not trying to dig on you because you're a software dude.
It's fine.
Here's the bottom line. 99.9% of the time, we don't even know how this shit works.
No, we don't. It's insane.
And that's why I'm saying to say that we can't. I'm telling you, I've worked on some expert systems. I promise you could do it. Promise you.
If you really want to put in the hours and give it a large enough data set and just let it run.
The problem is power.
Decent.
That's the problem. Yeah.
At like the training methodology, you could probably get there.
Yeah. I'm sure you could.
Like I fundamentally think it's an overcompensation on the training side for the fact of
humans are dumb and can't figure it out themselves. Oh, I went there. Sorry. I feel better now. Rip. No.
It's kind of this problem where it's like, oh well, I can solve this problem with a big enough hammer. It's like, well yeah,
that's what AI really is. It's a giant hammer.
Yeah, but there's smarter ways of doing that.
Yeah, that's no fun. I like to hit things with hammers. Call me Thor. It's all good. Usually I'm using a frying pan, so it's a step up, right? Really.
Okay.
All right, so let's see here.
I hear what you're saying, though. I didn't realize Unreal 5 was that complicated.
It is. Well, it's hard to really. There's no game developer that I've seen who successfully made a modding kit.
And they probably built it that way on purpose.
Probably.
Just to avoid you modders because they don't like you guys.
Well, not only that, but Unreal 5 is freaking. There's a lot in it.
Well,
like at the end of the day, if D&D Beyond wants to make Project Sigil flexible, they are going to have to write a UI system that will allow people to do what they want and to be flexible enough to just let people do what they want. If they don't do that, it's probably not going to work ever.
That's fair. That's totally fair.
And I think that if they don't ever do that, that would be a shame if they didn't.
So, come on. It's taken a long time.
That being said, if this is like they're still working on the project, that's fine if they don't support it. If they don't support it right now, it's fine. That's not the kind of system that you start with from the beginning.
Right. Well, I mean, they did this, I think on purpose, just to kind of stop modders from doing their thing. Because modders will essentially break a game.
Yeah, well, I mean, so there's a handful of titles where they were like, yeah, we're doing modding support, and they did it early. And the
Mhm.
problem they ended up having is that they're like, oh, well, we want to continue developing the game. We want to make these big, large, sweeping changes across our game. But now we can't because we will break all of the modding support for that, for like
Right.
these things. And the community will get super pissed at us.
Yep. So
And
lit
they did it early and they shoehorned themselves into what they were already doing.
right. This is taking forever. Usually doesn't take this long. Usually just loads right up. Oh, there it goes. Okay. It's probably because I was messing with it and I built this map. So this map that we're about to come into is part of the Mind of Kai that I was building. But that's just not the map. Oh, there it is. Okay. So this is only a small fraction of what I was building. Now, this would take you some time to actually walk through and travel through because if you look at the detail, the path starts over here.
Wow. Okay.
Like,
It looks really good.
yeah, and like the detail is there, and so the path, and I mean I laid everything out exactly how I wanted it. It takes a long time to get everything just right. Like every rock, every little detail that you're trying to do is all right there. So, um, yeah, this has just been. I think this was like 4 hours of me building just this,
Oh, wow. Yeah.
and this is only a small fraction of the map. Like this map continues on all the way to there. So this is actually phenomenally big, and I'm so happy with it. And then you can actually bring in. You can go into creative mode, fog of war, highlighter. You go and add a mini.
Mhm.
It's like I can add in anything. Um, let's just do a bugbear, for instance. Come on, give me a bugbear. Give me a bugbear right here. Up in the trees. And so, oh look, now it has action bars and everything.
Did you say a bugbear?
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Make
Yeah.
rolls, take actions, cast spells with the icon on the bar. Hover each item to see more information. So, like, it gives you all of these little tips and everything
It
on how to do it.
it's super refined as
It
far as the
is.
look. It's
So
pretty
like
awesome.
you have your actual movement and outline. So there's your 30 feet, right?
Hmm.
And da, 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 da. Let's see your action. Let's say you want to grab something. You can grab something from within that circle. Like this is how detailed it is. You can grab something from within that circle, and it's just like I think this is amazing. I am so proud of what D&D has been able to do with this. Look at how detailed. If I can get it to zoom in on the bugbear, quit zooming in on that spot. There we go. Nope, that's still that spot. Oh look, now I got to roll. Click and drag to roll. There we go. Missed. So yeah, I mean it's just. Let's see if I can get a better look now. Oh, there we go. I don't know why it's got lines through it though. I hate that.
It's
But
I think it's some sort of dithering. It's just a visual effect. If you
yeah,
zoom out, it goes away or something like that. Or it might be like showing that you already took your action.
maybe, or that he doesn't have an action right now.
Yeah.
So, dungeon master.
So I guess how much does it really help you, like when you're creating a map? Because
I will.
I think that one of my things, like when if you're playing with like tabletop simulator, right?
Mhm.
It's a huge pain because every object is a physics object, and so you have to place them meticulously one by one. It is a massive pain.
Yeah. Well, this is the same way. It is a pain, but at the same time, if you want the like, look at just the detail, the level of detail that you can get when you zoom in, and like
Hmm.
I don't know why it wants to zoom in on just that one spot, but whatever. So
The
like
hills have eyes.
right. So you can. I mean, it's very meticulous. The detail, the level of detail. Like if you look through here, I don't know what I'm gonna have to do to fix that. Oh, there we go. All right. So if you look through these trees, though, okay, you notice that like there's brush, there's high plants and stuff like that. That's because it gives you the ability to hide behind it. So like you can build hills and stuff like that. If you can't see, I if you can't see me, I can't see you.
Right.
And
Okay. Yeah.
I love that. Like the abilities that you can do with this. I love map building. I love doing all this stuff.
Mhm.
It's crazy. But I'm ecstatic for what I'm going to be able to do. And the fact that I can do it all 3D and be able to roll straight from this game makes it even better. So I mean, I'm all ears. If you guys have anything you want to know or say about it, I'm all ears for it.
Well, I would part of what I'm wondering is that I've been playing around with Unreal Engine 5 myself, and it's interesting that they are doing with this with Unreal Engine 5 because part of one of the big things that I think they're pushing for in Unreal Engine 5 is that their procedural content generation.
Hmm.
So when that comes out of beta, and they might actually be doing this right now, I'm starting to wonder is like, hey, are they trying to set up tools in Project Sigil where it's like going to help you build roads and towns and such because they're
Yeah.
using procedural content generation system that's in Unreal Engine 5, and I would like to see that
So
because
I did a
I
dirt
know that
path.
yeah, and so it's the kind of thing where it's like a lot of the times, at least from a map builder's perspective, it's like I want there to be this thing here. I do not want to place every single individual rock.
Hmm.
I want you to suggest things to me and I will change them as I see fit.
Yeah. So like I just did this individual rocks and everything like that because this was supposed to be an archway that had
Yeah.
fallen. And
Mhm.
so I was like, I want this to look a very specific way. Um, and essentially that's how it looked. So I'm happy with it. Like I don't get me wrong. What Project Sigil has done to D&D makes me happy.
I think that it's a great. This is like because it's not out yet, right? It's like is it
Yeah,
an alpha? Are they saying
it
it's an
it's
alpha or
still
beta?
it's still in beta. It's still in
Okay.
beta.
Yeah,
So
so I mean,
and
like for a
hopefully they
beta,
don't
this is really cool.
yeah,
This is
hopefully
really cool.
they don't withdraw my ability to use the beta right now for showing it off, but I'm ecstatic about it. Like this makes me happy. So Wizards of the Coast, just
TOS.
yeah, just don't kick me out of it yet. All right, I love it.
I'm
So
not gonna tell on you.
um, so yeah, there's this, and then um, how does character abilities play out with the environment? Like let's say mold earth. Yeah, so all of that stuff right there, Jesus, that all happens in game. It all happens whenever you. Let me see if I can go back into it really quick with the character. Let's see. Dwarven blacksmith. I don't know if this cleric will actually have it. Let's see. Let's just put this cleric here, and let's see if this cleric has the ability. Actions. No, doesn't have the ability to do it. So maybe manifest a minor wonder. No, so it doesn't have the ability to actually do it from here. But I mean, I'm sure I can probably go in and build some characters and test that theory out. Or
Uh,
you'll be able to build your character and bring it into the game, literally.
All
Yeah.
right, man. I gotta go.
Oh,
I
you
got
gotta go.
I got some stuff to do. So you guys can
You
keep
got
doing your thing.
you got 4 minutes. You got 4 minutes
Yeah,
of
but I
your
gotta
turn.
load everything in, bro.
That's fair. That's fair.
Well, it's nice meeting you, Lucian.
All right, it was nice meeting you, man.
I wish you luck with that. I hope you get good at Unreal 5. That's all I can say. Just not to rip anymore.
Oh, all right. So with that being said, though, of course, I'm gonna Daddy Bro, before you get out,
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna let you do your outro.
Well, I mean, you guys can do your
But we
thing
are
and stay on.
Yeah, no, we're
Guys,
around a little bit longer, but
Guys, as always, make sure you get yourself something good to eat. Get yourself something good to drink. Hug the people in your life because you never know how long you're going to have them. And last but not least, if you need help, get help. Getting help does not make you weak. It, in fact, makes you strong. Have a blessed night. I'm out. Peace out, brother.
Yep.
I'll talk to y'all later. Have a
Yes,
good
sir.
time.
See you next
Bye-bye
week.
now. All right, bye.
Peace.
There we go. And he'll drop out. There we go. So this is Project Sigil, though. I'm excited for it.
It's very promising.
Yeah, it really is.
Even from what they've had so far, this is very promising.
And so,
seeing this in the beta this early is
right. And so, initially, whenever I first jumped into it, it all looked like this, and I was like, what am I supposed to do? I didn't even read any of the stuff. Like, they were like, oh, there's a helpful hints thing, and I was like, no, just throw me in it. Just throw me in it. So, I just went straight into it, and I love what they've done. Like, of course I'm gonna sit here and brag about this, but you know, this is 4 hours though. Just think about that. This is 4 hours of me, like, just saying, okay, I want this, I want that, I want it to look like that. One of the things I will say, like, if you look at one of the things I don't like, see, like, everything kind of repeats. And that's because I was just trying to go in and, like, okay, put this in, so that it doesn't change up the way it looks ever. Like, when you plant, you plant exactly how it looks always.
Yeah, I can say that as somebody who's looked at the Unreal, if they bring in the right tools from Unreal, that's actually not that big of a deal. There are things they can do about that and such. I don't know if they're going to or not, but it's still, like you say, it's still really cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, getting some level of randomization and this kind of idea of like painting a material,
Right.
and that's kind of the terminology they would be using. It's like, oh well, I want this to paint this material. It happens to be grass.
Yeah.
Right. And saying that, okay, well, on this material we want such and such things to happen, like
Yeah, let me
so
see
on
if
and
I
so
can
forth.
let me go into creative mode. So, like, stuff like this, like, you can actually build it out. Let me move away from this area real quick so I can just quickly delete it. So, like, let's say this, and you can build it out, a dungeon, really quick. So, and that's a 4x4 square. Now, here's the kicker, though. You can say go up 2 floors, and you're sitting. No, it's not doing it. So the camera's going up 2 floors, not this thing. Why is it not going up? There is a way to actually make it go up, though, in elevation. So, and I'm trying to remember how to do it. Is it space? No, it's not space. So, anyways, well, yeah. So it's that simple, though. Like, that's a single square piece, right? Single squares. There it goes. It just went up, but not up high enough for me. But yeah. So it's elevated slightly above it.
Okay, so I mean, how does the like changing elevation work then? Do you have to explicitly put stairs, or is it going to kind of figure out that it's like, oh, I can step up this high?
Yeah. So there is. See, like, I can build walls straight off that. Let me see. There are staircases in creative mode.
Actually, the other thing that'll be great about this is, um, it's like every game that I've ever been in is superficially two-dimensional because
Right.
nobody wants to deal with the fact that it's like if you're like, oh well, I'm 5 feet this way and 10 feet off the ground, and what's the distance?
Right.
Take the square root of 2 and do some magic nonsense and be like, no, we're not doing that. We are not doing that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And so like you can go in, see,
So
I just
this could figure it out though.
yeah.
And and have it not look like complete nonsense.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm just doing this quickly. Like it's don't
Mhm.
think that this I don't build maps that look like this typically. But
This thing that you have seen live, definitely a 100% finished product.
yeah. Yeah, so but I mean it's I forget which one it
Mm.
is. Nope, nope, nope. There's a way that you can actually click and flip, and I don't remember which one it is. So, oh wait, it's rotate. It's R. There we go. Ta-da! And now I can actually put in rotate, and let's say like, for instance, this doorway is like right there. And then there are half walls somewhere in here. So you can actually, like, this is just me doing this real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So like, there's a little window there. I mean, it's that's definitely not finished, but that's how simple it was just for me to go in and do that. Um, so there's a staircase there, and like, what's really cool though is actually I can build this out to look like. There's that, and then there's these little half ones. Go down in there. There we go. And so when you look at it now, it just looks like that. And let's do like a stone floor. What do you think? Stone floor should look good.
I'll be really excited just to see what kind of maps people end up making
Right.
when you're not like superficially limited to that
It,
two-dimensional plane.
yeah.
And like what kinds of things are we going to start seeing because we kind of have unlocked this third dimension.
Right. And see, like that's one of the things I agree with you. Like when you're looking at this, and you can only rotate north, south, east, and west. Give me the ability to rotate a little bit more than that, man. I just want a little bit.
Just want a little bit.
I just want a little bit. Um,
What was that? Was that painting? It's like the Jackson Pollock painting where it's like, you have no idea which direction is which. You're just like, what's
right.
happening?
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it's
Yeah,
just
that's what we want to do. It's a D&D.
yeah. That's what we're supposed to do. So like, here you go. And now I've just made like a little crevice where it looks like something was sitting there, and now it's gone. Like
Got your
things like
ballistas
this,
ripped out of the ground by some hulking barbarian going
right?
absolute nuts.
Yeah, like little things like this make me happy. Like it's the little details where you can do things, and
Yeah,
you're just like,
you can
wow.
do like this is detailed enough. You can do like environmental storytelling and all this other stuff.
Exactly, exactly. And so that looks like Fallout 4 Settlement Builder. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it does look a lot like that. I won't lie about that. So I don't know if anybody knows about Fallout 4's Settlement Builder or not. It does look a lot like that.
Mm.
But this is D&D, so fuck
It's
off. No,
cooler.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, so I mean, to me, I'm like, yes, like this is perfect. This is what a true storyteller slash DM. This is what they need. This is what they've always wanted. without
For
telling
sure.
Wizards of the Coast, like, hey, give me this.
Yeah.
So
I
I'm
mean,
I'm excited.
I would almost kind of say that like unofficially we have, because Foundry exists, because
Y-
Owlbear Radio exists, because
y-
and so it's cool because they've seen these things
Right.
and now they're doing something about it.
Yep.
And all the power to them. If it takes off and it's like, and they have some sort of like hosting cost, officialized hosting cost, like all the power to them if they do that and it's a reasonably priced. I would love to see something like this take off
See,
and then
I said
have people react to it and be like, "Oh, well, we're going to make a different product and it's going to be better in some way, shape, or form." Like
right.
I would just and I love it when companies fight.
Right. That's capitalism in its finest.
Yeah,
Um,
I like to see it when companies fight and it costs like $40 million to throw a punch.
right. Exactly. Exactly. That's the way it's supposed to be. Just nobody talks about this out loud. We're saying the
Yeah,
quiet parts out loud. Um,
that's what we're
so,
about.
I
Saying the
mean,
quiet
this
parts.
is right. Exactly. I'm excited though. I'm excited to see what they're able to do. Like, and I'm just sticking around with it now. But
Mhm.
there's other things where you could just go through, and I mean, you have all kinds of terrain, and let's see, props. So,
I do know that I like some of the, I'll say in air quotes, 3D map builders,
mhm,
because you'll look at a number of them and they are quote unquote 3D. They are top down where they take a snapshot of it. They take a picture of it and then that is the map.
right,
But some of them are more intelligent about like, oh, this is supposed to be a tavern. Let me suggest things that you would find in a tavern and kind of generally sketch it out. And like, I don't have to place every single item on some bench or all this other stuff just to sketch everything out. I find that kind of workflow. I'm a big fan of that workflow.
right,
Just from the idea of saying that the faster I can sketch something out and refine it,
uh-huh,
the better. Is saying that taking the time to place every single object meticulously is going to it does slow people down, and and that's going to come out as a kind of barrier to entry for people to actually use these things, and saying the faster you can suggest something to somebody and get through an entire map, so people can really get to the meat and potatoes of what they want to build in this map. People don't want to people don't want to spec out like every single like civilian home, but
right,
we do want to spec out, we want to be very specific about our tavern because like we're telling some sort of story through this tavern.
right,
Those are the things that people want to meticulously build and be like,
yep.
I've crafted this and every bottle cap is like important. Like,
It, I mean, you're not
you
wrong.
know,
That there
and
are
I know
certain
that
things.
because I know I have DMs there where we only play on like all of our maps are made from Mid Journey, all of them,
Mhm,
and Um, part of the reason for that is that it's like, okay, but not everybody has artistic talent. Not everybody, um, sometimes it's a time issue. Sometimes it's something else, right?
right,
And saying that, well, the faster, the more ways we can speed some of these processes along and make it that much easier, the better we are when it comes to adoption.
right.
And the reason we would be targeting, at least from my perspective, the reason we would be targeting trying to get the highest level of adoption is because we're going to see that much for prosperity. Because if they even come remotely close to adding something in like the Fab Lab
Hmm.
that they have, it's either in like Unity or Unreal or like any of the asset marketplaces, which already have a considerable amount of content in them
Right.
that even remotely looks good in it's something like this,
Hmm.
it will be awesome
Right.
because you'll be able to bring in the custom assets and you'll be able to feature like specific monsters in here they and saying that like, hey, you know, how what is it really going to cost to feature this monster,
Right.
right? And so now you're creating a marketplace for artists and you are encouraging a larger marketplace community, and having that behind something like this I think would be super cool.
Right.
It would take this and just to another level.
Right. So like here you go. Just really quick. These were just set pieces. Um,
Okay, so they have entire set pieces, yeah.
yeah, they do have entire set pieces. There's only 4 of them right now. So like this tower,
Hmm.
um, where you can clearly go into it. There's an indoors area here, and like I just zoomed in. Now look at the level of detail on the inside. Like
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. They put all that stuff in there. Um, you can go all the way up to here. There's a lot of detail in these.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
blood splatter, dead bones. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. Like this is the needy greedy. Okay,
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
for all you Nacho Libre fans, that's the needy greedy. Um, that's I love that movie. Uh, but just like the little details that they put into this. Um,
Hmm.
this thing I'm pretty sure is supposed to go over a hole or levels of some sort. I just kind of put it there just for looks.
Does it
And
actually? But if it were higher up, would it actually go up and down?
that's a good question. Hold on. You asked it. I'm gonna check it out. Let's figure this out. Come on. Thank
How
you.
it's like how interactable could we get?
Go on this side. Rotate. Okay. Now, probably got to get out of creative mode. Now, let's see. Activate.
Oh my
So it does work.
god.
it, it does work.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited
That's
about that
absolutely
actually.
awesome.
That was pretty cool. Let's see how much more detail there is. Anything else? I don't see anything else that's gonna really be.
Well, so it seems like that they're going the blue tier, that blue tier there, or the
Uh
wisp that was there.
huh.
Like that's their whole. I think that
Yeah,
seems like that's probably their interactable framework or whatever.
yeah. That's what I'm seeing. So that blue wisp was the interaction of
Yeah.
activate.
Which so I wonder if how far you could take their interact how far they're going to take interaction, because if you can like chain if you can set rules for like chaining things together, automations,
Hmm.
map level automations, I
Right.
think would be cool.
Um.
Because like even getting down to a point of being like, hey, we're gonna put like a invisible box here. If somebody crosses, into this box, it's automatically going to start like initiative. Like it automatically freezes the game,
Yeah.
or start automatically rolls initiative, and things
Where's the
happen and
golden?
things move and so on and so forth. I think that would be really really cool.
Right. I just want to see what this golden like. You could change the lighting. Overcast. All right, let's just go back to this.
Having a music system that works, that you could
Right.
one stream. My big ask. My big ask. I would like to stream music videos. I would like to stream YouTube specifically.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, because the music library for like dungeon masters and like tavern music and all these other stuff, if you get your library right from YouTube, you have a massive selection.
Right.
Like, let's be real, that is the biggest selection we have.
Yeah.
There are other people like Momentum Studios. Bless these people.
They
I
have
bought
amazing.
like they have. I have it. I have it somewhere. It's 40 gigabytes of sound files. Like
Yeah.
that is a lot of sound files.
Right.
And it's just like all like some of it's like mundane stuff, some of it's like real like just background music taverns, and all this stuff. And it's like that's the other side of it, and saying that being able to use both of those things
Mm-hmm.
would make me happy. It would make me very happy.
Right. Exactly.
It's just amazing.
So for me, like I just made up this room while we were talking a little while ago.
Mm.
Like I just built this really quick. Like this is how quick and easy this stuff is. I don't know if you can hear. Can you hear the background music?
Oh,
I don't know
let
if
me
you
s-
can or not.
I might not, because I'm not watching from Twitch.
Well, I don't know if you're watching from. I don't know if you have to be watching from Twitch or not. But yeah. So, anyways, I can actually from here. This is Project Sigil, ladies and gentlemen. Project Sigil. Still in beta stage. From what I was reading before, is there's still a lot to be coming from. This that is going to be coming from this, coming into this.
Mm.
Words are hard.
English is a hell of a thing.
It really is. It really is.
It,
So
it, 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 it comes down to this. It's like, man, nothing about English makes sense. It doesn't follow its own rules. Like,
right,
it's hard.
yeah, that is so true. That's so true. So, anyways, let me get out of this now and get back into our podcast. Since I'm over here playing around with this, um, so quit game. Yes, I'm positive I want to quit. All right, back to this. So yeah, Project Sigil. Hey, what do you think?
I am excited. I want it to go places. I want it. I really want it to go places.
Yeah, same.
But it
Same.
needs the flexibility.
It does.
It's non-negotiable. It's
Fair.
non-negotiable for me. It's if it'll be like having strict D&D rules, starting with strict D&D. That
Mhm.
is the best starting place. The only place to go from there after that is the flexibility. And
Right.
I don't think it's gonna catch on immediately. They're not This is not a project that where you're gonna make it. You're gonna make this video, you're gonna make this VTT, and it's gonna succeed immediately. I don't think that's gonna happen at all.
Yeah.
This is not gonna succeed until people start picking it up over a long period of time. And that will only continue to happen if you provide the flexibility.
Yeah. I agree. Like it needs a lot of the flexibility from like Foundry that you have with Foundry and stuff.
If
Foundry,
if they can solve Foundry's problem of like versioning,
yeah.
oh my gosh.
If they can solve that problem and still keep it with that 3D look and not the top down 2D,
Oh yeah.
there's no amount of money that would stop me from saying that is the virtual tabletop for me. Like
Well, I mean,
they could charge $200 and I would probably pay it just because I'm like, that is it. That's
I
the
mean,
one.
there would be so many people that would pay for it, even just for their home games. Like, if you're doing something on Start Playing, like just coming out and being like, "Bam! Take a look at this!" Like, that's going to be phenomenal.
Jesus, no, no,
No, no,
just so no.
no. Okay, no.
Foundry is perfect.
You stepped into this. So I've had 3 DMs where they're like, I'm so done with Foundry.
Mhm.
And like I'm willing to deal with some of these problems because I'm a technical person. But it's like there's versioning problems. There's not just versioning problems from Foundry itself, but like, oh well, I need all of these mods to work together.
Yes.
These mods work together on this specific version of Foundry. But if I change that, there's a problem.
Mhm.
And it's worsened by the fact that cloud providers only want to host certain versions of Foundry and they want people to keep updating and so on and so forth.
Right.
Because they do have processes in their back end to make it more efficient for themselves. They're trying to make the whole experience for the modding side of Foundry easier, so on and so forth. And so they only want to support a specific number of things,
Right.
and that brings in a whole bunch of versioning issues. And so if you're going through a campaign and that campaign lasts for 2 years, well,
Skill
you're
issues.
gonna be like, oh well, for month one these things worked, for month two they didn't, for month three we tried something else and we kind of liked it. And then
Yeah.
it's gonna be so inconsistent, and then it's like, okay, well now we're getting away from what we're actually trying to do here.
Yeah. And see, that's one of my biggest complaints. Not only are you have to pay for Foundry, right?
Right.
But you have to pay the monthly fees and all that stuff just within the Foundry Forge setup. But then to do the mods to get the game to run the way that you want it to run and look, you have to pay for the mods as well. And some of those mods are cheap, I won't lie. Like some of them are cheap.
Yeah.
Uh, but others are like $24 a month on top of your already 24 or $20 a month. I'm like, dude, so
What?
yeah, like you're just stacking
What?
money. Like, give me one flat rate and be done.
I mean, it's like, well, I hear that and I'm like, uh,
Yeah.
it's like, guys, that's this is not gonna work economically. This is not efficient.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. And it's really not. And then you're absolutely right with the constant updates. Like you're always having to update something, and if you don't have
Right.
things updated, you get into the game 1 minute and you realize that one of your mods is broken because one of the other mods that actually relies on that mod um, is out of date, and um,
Hmm.
the initial uh, modder has not updated yet,
Yeah.
and it may take a month.
Yeah, and I mean, Foundry is not easy to mod in the first place
It's
either.
yeah, it's
And
really
that's I don't blame the Foundry guys for that at all.
yeah,
Like
it's not
making a
it's not
good
their fault.
there's like there's like maybe 3 modding systems in the entire game industry that have been wildly successful.
Hmm.
Everybody else has struggled, and it's not necessarily their fault. Nobody has really figured out how to do this well at all.
What I don't know if you remember 2016, I think it was 2015, 2016, Sword Coast Legends. Do you remember that? Uh,
I heard about it, yes.
okay, so Sword Coast Legends, I paid for top dollar.
Mhm.
Top dollar got me like they sent me a package in the mail. I got like this 6 foot or 6 foot. Jesus, 6 foot. Lord have mercy. I'd be freaking out if I had that thing. Um, Probably be rich because I would have sold it in a heartbeat. But forget what it was. It was a devil. Big wings, flaming sword, horns, and everything. And he was probably easily about 8 inches tall, maybe even 10 to 12. I don't know. Um, just a massive statue. But then you got like a fabric map that you could place up on the wall. You had another map that but it was stuff that had nothing at all to do with the game itself. Like it really wasn't a game. What it was a map building TT uh, uh, tabletop game, uh,
Huh.
builder
Okay.
builder, and you built dungeons, and you could go into Hero Forge, build your character, uh, bring your character from Hero Forge into the tabletop, but it was D&D, but it was D&D. I think it was D&D 4 or 3.5, somewhere in there. Um, it was really wildly successful for about 2 months, and then after that 2 months, people just quit. Like
Yeah.
it stopped. I I think it was a year later, and I was I went on to their Kickstart. I did everything right.
Oh yeah.
They got like $3 million in like three months. It was something crazy, ridiculous, and it was the first game I'd ever seen like that, where you could actually go in, build out a dungeon, play the game
Mhm.
out, and you were literally the DM, but these guys were able to run around freely doing whatever. And you could like set a trap off. You could do all this crazy stuff. Um, and I loved it. It was really successful for a little while. 2 years after they released the game, the devs completely backed out and the servers got shut down. No refund, no nothing. App that I spent, I think it was
Yeah.
like $350 or $500 for the top tier. Um,
Oof.
yeah. So I would hate to see another company do anything like that. Um, I would probably get pissed and be like, "Screw this! I ain't playing another fucking game
Yeah.
again."
I mean, I
Please
get
send
why
money to Africa.
companies.
What?
What?
Feed the starving kids of Africa? What? No, no. We're not sending any money to Africa. If you want to send money to VD4GM. That's my company. All right, that's a nonprofit. We help veterans. Send money there. Don't be sending money to Africa. They got their own damn money. They got gold and diamonds and shit. All right. Okay, that was wrong.
So,
That was rude of me, but still. So
I mean, either way. Um, moving on.
moving on.
I don't know. That's a phrase that I use when I'm clearing my mind. Anyways, so yeah, please do not come into streams and just randomly start asking for money, please.
Right, exactly. Like
Do
that's just
not.
stupid.
Um, no, I think they at least, but like it's not unheard of for Kickstarter to do that kind of thing. I think that especially in the D&D this kind of VTT niche, there is like where there's a bunch of people trying out ideas, and we're not quite happy as like a global community with any of them.
Hmm.
And there's a lot of things that are fantastic, but the way I'm confident in saying that we're not really quite happy with either of them, because if we were, every DM would be like, "No, use this. It's better than anything else." But that's not what happens.
Right.
And so there's this sorely needed niche somewhere between, you know, I need something that's easy to use and something that's flexible enough for me to tell any story that I want,
Hmm.
and something like in that niche, and we just don't have it yet, because even with a lot of like the builders, where like there's a lot of builders that are fantastic, and they do it in a specific style specifically because they want to restrict the content that they can actually generate,
Hmm.
and so that way it does look nice and there is some semblance of quality control, because otherwise it's impossible.
Right.
And it's great if your story happens to happen in that specific environment.
Hmm.
Otherwise, you're kind of shit out of luck, and you have to go find something else.
Yeah.
And it is a tall order. It is a tall order to ask, like, oh well, can I just want to do it with any kind of environment. It's like, yeah, you're not going to do that with a single team of people. No company is going to succeed at that. That's You're going to have a market of some sort.
Right.
Like, you have to. It's non-negotiable in my head. And so if Sigil can solve those all of those problems, it will do. I think it'll do well.
Right.
And adding in the third dimension certainly adds in a specific amount of hype factor as well.
Right. And activation, like being able to see that
The activation is
lift.
this, like, it's like, okay,
Yeah.
I can if we if I think that if they had if they add I don't know if it's the right word, if they add a certain amount of height dithering.
Yeah.
So what I mean by that is saying that, okay, well, if the camera is low enough where it's like, okay, I'm not going to render these trees that are really close to the cameras that's blocking it. And so I can see what's happening on the map in front of me.
Right.
You can get a lot of interesting interactions, because that means the DM can actually activate something that's above the camera that you're just not going to be aware of.
Right. That's
And
true.
moreover, if we're going 3D, and you do have a more interesting, height variations, we
Hmm.
don't want the top part of the building getting in the way of us actually playing the game and telling a story.
Yeah. And I agree. I agree with
As
that.
a as a software developer, it's like, I want the software to be as out of the way as possible. I want you to forget that you're using it.
Yeah.
And if they can, and it's I see that a little bit with Sigil.
Hmm.
Like, even with Sigil, it's like it does get in the way a bit, and it's camera. It has to do with the camera and what
Right.
it's rendering and how close it is to the camera. But
I
um,
I
if
agree
they can
with
fix
you
it,
on that. I do agree with you on that. Sorry to interrupt you.
no, it's fine.
Uh, um, One of the things though that I will say that to counter that, I love the fact that like when you do zoom in, the closer the object gets, the more out of focus it gets. If you're focusing on a pinpoint of the map, the
Hmm.
closer you get to it, the less focused, the less detailed it is because you're not paying attention to that. You're paying attention to a pinpoint. So
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. The
it
depth. There's certain depth of focus. Yeah.
yes, and I love that about it. It's something about that was like this is this is surreal. Like I'm happy with that. But I agree
Yeah.
with you with when we zoom in, when we focus in on a certain point, we should be able to like like that one tower that was already pre-built, and I threw it
Hmm.
in there. There was 3 floors to that. Well, when I zoom into the bottom floor, everything else should kind of fade away, so I can see what's going on inside.
Right. Yeah.
And so like I agree with you on that. Uh, one of my biggest questions would be though is what is the camera? See, that's the camera angle from the DM side. What is the camera angle from the player side going to look like? Where is it going to be a field of view from your standpoint? If that's the case, then I can build a whole massive world where there's multiple levels, layers, and everything in one little map.
Hmm.
And I say little, but that's actually big size. That's a good size
Yeah.
map. So,
That is a big
uh,
size map. And
yeah,
I mean, I would not be surprised if they add some sort of feature where that allows characters to be like, oh, this is a door to
mm,
another place, and that is a different map,
yeah,
right? And you just whoop.
yeah, exactly. That would be fantastic if they did that. If they did that, dude, I'm telling you, there's no amount of money that they could sell that for that program would not be. It would be purchased, and not just from my standpoint, but from multiple DM standpoints.
Oh yeah.
Us storytellers and the creative thinking that we have. I When you put a program like this in front of us, where it's user friendly, like I was able to pick it up and say, screw the
Well,
details and hints and all that.
you didn't even go through the tutorial, and you still figured it out.
Yeah, I said
Like, the
screw all
program
that.
didn't get in your way of
No,
doing that.
I just was like, no, get out of my way, and I just went forward and dove right into it, and I was still able to build
Mhm.
out something that I was like, yes, I want it to look like this, that, with no tutorial whatsoever.
Yeah.
That that is every artist, because and I'm gonna say it like this because a DM is an artist. Like, they are
Yes.
telling a story, and it any piece of art that you look at is
Mhm.
telling a story from the painter's perspective or the writer's perspective or whatever the case may be. This is a story that we're telling from our perspective and putting the detail and life into it.
Yeah. Because I mean, my favorite thing about the whole game industry as a whole is saying that like what we do is we craft experience,
Hmm. Exactly.
and is saying that like you do that a large part of that becomes from the real narrator, and a lot of saying that is that in TTRPGs it's the DM.
Right.
In video games, kind of the narrator is basically the game.
Yeah.
They're the primary driver of what's happening in the world, how it works, so on and so forth.
Hmm.
But we also have that from a player side too, is because what the player does significantly changes everything. And so as a collective, we are driving this narrative in such a way that we are crafting experience, and anything that gets
Right.
in the way of that is detrimental. And I can only say that we haven't figured it out yet, and I want it to be solved.
Right.
You know, I want the programs to get out of the damn way.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because it's the most frustrating thing I've had, is
It-
that like there are some people where I've sat down with them, and it's like, even as a software developer, I'm like, I have no idea how you're supposed to fix this. Like I would have to do things about the core program to change and fix this, because it's not working currently.
yeah. And that kind of leads into
That's a
Foundry.
huge project.
That leads into my Foundry complaints though too. It's like you're
Yeah.
so limited on what you can and can't do unless you pay for Bailey Wiki, which, by the way, Bailey Wiki, take your prices down just a little bit. I'm just saying, you do beautiful things, but take the prices down a little. All right. Um, yeah. Uh, so, anyways,
We're talking about Bailey Wiki.
yeah, Bailey Wiki. For Foundry, they do some beautiful stuff. Where they have buildings where you can just drag and drop into your Foundry map, right? So you
Hmm.
don't do anything other than, like, I use Dungeon Alchemist to build maps. So you build a blank map with absolutely nothing except for, like, if you want a river on it, you build the river,
Hmm.
um, and put some trees in there and some rocks and stuff like that. But, like, let's say you're building a town, you can literally drag and drop buildings in. You can, if you pay for the top dollar Bailey Wiki, when your characters walk into said buildings, the roof and everything goes away. Like, the entire map goes away, except for what's inside.
That's
Uh,
awesome.
yeah. And so, like, let's say you have a staircase that goes up to the next level.
Hmm.
They go up that staircase. That floor goes away, and the floor that they're coming up on, that's all there is. Now, you're very limited on how this actually works because you have to use exactly what Bailey Wiki has in there that off what they're offering.
Yeah.
Um, you There's no alterations of what's inside unless you go in and build it. Um, and we all know that Foundry, you can't really build too much. So I like Dungeon Alchemist because you have the AI capabilities to out a dungeon, or let's say you build a
Hmm.
tavern, for instance. You're going to have a big tavern brawl. You can build a massive tavern in Dungeon Alchemist with AI, and it'll build out different rooms, different layouts, blah blah blah. Make it look a certain way. You want creep factor, it'll add a creep factor to it. All that good stuff. It's fantastic for that. Outside of that, you can do nothing else with it. Absolutely
Yeah.
nothing. Unless you are playing in person and you're saying, you use Dungeon Alchemist to literally build a map, but then that map isn't yours. That's
Oh yeah,
AI. So you
yeah,
it's AI. So I mean it's not
yeah.
gonna look how you want it to look in your head. Like if you just kind of have to go off of whatever's created.
That's the other frustrating part about AI
Yeah.
is saying that it's like my experience, my entire experience with Midjourney. As much as I love Midjourney, I have a subscription to Midjourney. I will continue to support them even if I don't use it because they do some pretty great things.
Yeah.
Um,
And their
and
pictures, the pictures that the AI creates are
phenomenal.
phenomenal. Yeah.
And it's the kind of thing where it's like in my head, even if I'm not using it, I am funding other people who actually what they do is that they take the prompts
Yeah.
and they take the Midjourney output and they try and recreate. They basically trying to recreate Midjourney in a smaller in a smaller package.
Right.
And so I kind of make up having a subscription in my mind kind of makes up for that.
Yeah.
So, but my entire experience with Midjourney is I'm going to try and describe something and it's not going to be what I want, and I'm going to keep regenerating it until
There we go.
until
Let's give you
oh
your
oh
spotlight.
my gosh.
Let's give you your spotlight. Come on.
But yeah, I'm gonna keep regenerating this until I hit a point of exhaustion where I'm just like, okay, it's good enough.
Right.
And then, I may use things like Dolly
There we go.
to redo specific portions. I may use other in painting tools to redo specific portions,
Hmm.
but it's always going down to, oh my gosh, I've done this 500 times and I still don't have what I want.
Right. Exactly.
That's the most frustrating part.
Yeah.
Now that is in part also because it's like, okay, well, if I really need something very, very specific and exactly the way I want, I probably should just learn art. But that's what I get for not, spending the, years that it takes to be an artist or a 3D modeler or, insert, more art careers here, right?
Yeah.
And so there's a big conversation around AI, and I am as somebody who does do AI and plays with AI. I know I have certifications on the internals of how this stuff works. There's a big part of me that says like, yeah, the entire world went completely overboard and did the artists wrong when AI came out. We should not have done everything we did with art community and AI. That was
Uh,
100% a mistake. You got a hammer and you tried to use it as a paintbrush.
yeah.
And technically you can do that. Good luck. It's not going to be very good. And to be fair, they do AI art does do some things well, and
Hmm.
it does have problems with copyright and all this other stuff.
Well, see,
Um,
I was told though that some of the copyright stuff. Now that you brought it up, as long as the prompt is created by you and you jump into, or like if I was to, let's say I create a Centurion
mhm,
male with fighter, right, with
yeah,
black hair and the rest of his body is like an American paint.
right.
Now, as long as I say that in the prompt, the image, what comes out of it, if I use that image, technically that is copywritten by me because it's already put into the prompt that I created. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
yeah.
Now, I've heard that's that's a legalized document, a legalized argument that you can actually say, I created this.
I will go back to copyright history to answer this because I don't want to give an opinion on this.
Hmm.
And the purpose of that is saying that whatever they find as whatever they can say whatever the hell they want legally
Hmm.
as long as it fits a certain model and as long as it respects like copyright history and DMCA law and the history of DMCA law and kind of the arguments that they kind of found out that were the foundations of the internet,
Right.
I'm fine. And so what happened, this was like the super early days of the internet, right? You have it's basically the Wild West. It's the universities, nerds, and like mad scientists.
Yeah.
And so what ended up happening was saying that, oh, well, I can take the cable signal into my computer, interpret it, and display it. But that also
Hmm.
means I can record it and I can change things and I can redistribute it.
Right.
So who owns the recording? And because I created the recording, but of something else.
Hmm.
And what they end up coming down to is saying that, okay, well, you're recording, I don't know, a television show, right? The news or something, right? They own that content. You can't just redistribute that
Right.
for money.
Yeah. That's fair.
It's the for money part that's a problem
Right.
because um there is like I go back to a lot of this stuff and saying that it's like, listen, if you put something on the internet, that information is gone. You can never take it back, and there is nothing that you can do to stop me from getting it.
Yeah.
And
Are you
you
paying
know they have
attention
a
to OnlyFans? Are you paying attention?
yeah, basically like
Yeah.
there is nothing you can take that back, and
Right.
so and the other part of it is saying that it's like, okay, well, books have the same problem where it's like where people release books as PDFs and
Right.
there's a extension that I forget, and audiobooks, and because
Hmm.
they don't want people having the plain text, because that means you can completely negate all sales by just supplying it on Pirate Bay, basically.
Right.
It's like, yeah, but I still say the same argument from that, because it's like, hey, it takes me 5 minutes to download this audiobook on Audible, hack the file and get the raw audio file, and then feed it through Whisper to get the entire text.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's a problem.
Yeah.
People 100% do this. Like, and so when it comes to AI, I'm kind of like, you put it on the internet, there is nothing you can do.
Yeah.
There's it is yours. Is logically, and it should be yours, but there is nothing we can do about it. And
Yeah.
so, even it even comes down to this kind of idea of where, like, if you want to talk about securing something on the internet, that is a serious conversation where you are not allowed to do things if you seriously want to secure something on the internet. And so it's then we get into the AI and how it's taking, basically it's like, okay, I want to generate a sunset. Well, what AI is going to do is going to take the top 100 million pictures of a sunset and
Hmm.
take the average of all of them in a very complex and convoluted way that works well.
Right.
Question is now is who owns the copyright to the next image it generates, because it used copyright content to do that.
Ooh, that's actually good. That's a catch
That's
22.
That is the problem with AI.
Yeah, that's a catch right there.
So either we throw away everything and say it never used copyright content to do this, or we say that the contribution of the of any single piece of copyright content is so diminutively small that it invalidates the point. And wherever we lie, we have to keep in mind that it's like you put it we put it on the internet, you cannot take it back and you cannot control what other people do with it.
Hmm.
If they make money off of it, you can do something about it, but at the same time it's like
But it's free
I
game.
ca- it's free game.
Yeah.
It's like this is what the internet has always been, and will continue to be always.
Right.
The saying that if a piece of data hits my computer, I can do anything I want with that data.
Hmm.
And y- if somebody did this, like, those people, like when they're using all these images for AI, they don't have to notify people that they're using it for AI.
Right.
And there's no possible way you would know, even if you had the tool.
Right. So then, I guess my next question would be, and see, I love this conversation. I love where this is going. So my next question would be though, is if that's true, right? That means everything that you put on Facebook. Just saying.
Yes. Yeah,
So
yes.
you know where I'm going with this.
Yes. It's terrifying.
Yes, deep fakes are a thing, and as much as I want to say what they are trying to do, with the young lady here in Texas, which don't get me wrong, if you take a 16-year-old or 15-year-old, or I think it was 15 or 16-year-old, um, you take her image and make a deep fake of pornographic material with it. I mean, her face is still on the internet.
Yeah, and so we're gonna get into
It
this. The internet's gonna about to become the strangest place to ever exist ever in the history of forever, and we will never go back from it. It'll never change, and
thinks
there's
that
nothing
AI.
we can do to stop it. And what's gonna happen is that it's what's already happened to the news media.
Mhm.
And the fact is that we have no idea how to trust anybody or prove anything about what anybody says ever. All we have is the raw like video of the event, and if unless you want to go through the 10,000 hours of politics jury or whatever it is,
Yeah.
like you're not going to know the truth for certain unless you go through all 10,000 hours. And that is what's so infuriating, because even eventually you're going to see videos that are faked and that did add actual content that did not happen, and
Right.
nobody will be able to tell the difference.
Yeah.
And so you're going to get into this space where nobody knows what's true. The truth and lies are indistinguishable, and it might as all well be nonsense. And because you can't tell what's true anymore.
We
Because
should
like
totally make a tabletop game about this. So, like, this would be so much fun. Isn't
it's
that technically Among Us?
maybe, I don't know. But I mean,
Oh, your camera does the same thing mine does.
oh, it
Right?
does. I
Yeah.
have it's not, there it goes.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're gonna get to this place in the internet where it's like we have no idea whether what's true or not.
Yeah.
And it's like we couldn't know because we built this tool to do this, and it did it successfully. Surprise.
Yeah.
And
Ta-da!
like, what are you gonna do in that scenario? Because you can't tell what's true.
Right.
So we're just not gonna know.
Yeah. That see, that just brings up a whole scary. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know how many people. I don't know how many people saw Terminator or Terminator 2 or any of those. No. Jesus. Jesus. Yes. Yes.
Yes, Jesus. It will
Yes.
come. It's terrifying.
Skynet is a real thing.
Well, did you see what Thor said about Skynet?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
It-
he talks about OnlyFans and all this other stuff
yeah.
and AI and how it's going to come to this like singularity, and instead of making Skynet, it's going to make Skynet,
Yeah.
where you just have a bunch of like fake profiles like messaging you about like how their like cousin thought you were cute, like,
Yeah.
and they're all fake. And then they're just going to start messaging each other and taking up all of the energy on the planet,
Yeah.
messaging each other.
Oh man. That totally
Like,
that puts like a whole different perspective on DDoSing though, doesn't it?
oh yeah, holy shit. Well, did you? So okay, it's already started happening. What I think you're talking about has already started happening.
Yeah.
There are several actors
Hmm.
who are like who they have their own social media profiles. They do their own thing, and for the most part, like well, I don't know. They're focused on other parts of their life.
Right.
And all of a sudden they have one of their friends that come up and it's like, I can't believe that you said that and did that. And they're like, what are you talking about? Right. And come to find out, there's like 4 deep fakes of this person on social media, and they're fighting with other deep fakes saying horrendous things
Oh,
that have like almost gotten them fired. Like,
wow.
and it's like, oh my gosh. Like, like, okay, companies following people, their employees, like social media profiles. One, creepy. Two, I get it. You don't want to hire somebody who's if you I don't know, you work for the government or whatever. You don't want to hire a terrorist.
Right.
Like it makes sense.
Yeah.
But now they're not going to be able to do that. That's very
But-
scary.
Right. They're not going to be able to look at somebody's social media profile and
Like
be like, oh,
you're gonna post a baby picture and people are gonna be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this baby did all of these wild things like skydiving. Like,
yeah, that's one way to put it. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
it seems that
Sweet.
nothing is sacred on the internet.
No, nothing at all. Not anymore, at least. And then
No.
you got people like me that I'm a total troll. Like I'll put stuff on there just to make
Oh yeah.
somebody mad.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I remember, the early days of like Xbox and Xbox Live and stuff, and it was like, yeah, like
Your mom
we're
joke.
all a bunch of trolls. Like, don't get it wrong. Like, dude, if you put yourself out there, you better 100% be ready to get made fun of. Like, and
Halo 3. Halo 3.
it has nothing to do with the person. It
Yeah,
has nothing to do with anything they said, the person or what they sound like, any of it.
right.
Nothing to do with it. It's because we're bored on the internet and there's no consequences.
Right.
Like, but like it's yeah, you put out content on the internet. Now there's nothing you can do about it.
It's like so
Like,
Halo 3 was like my ultimate troll playground where you're freely talking to people, and this of course this is a time ago, right?
wow, yeah.
So so but Halo 3 was the ultimate game for me because I was able to get on there and just like headshot you know, others from across the field, and they're like, "Dude, I can't even get out." And I'm like, "Get good." You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else are you gonna say?
Yeah. Like stuff like that. That was me. I was totally
Yeah.
that troll.
Yeah,
Um
no, we just made each other pissed off as hell. And somehow we all had fun doing it.
yeah, exactly.
And it's and then we have some people coming in and they don't understand that how that works. And
Right.
that's where we get conflict and all
Yeah.
this other stuff. And I can logically, like, I understand why people have conflict with it,
Uh-huh.
but it's like, okay, before we start raving, you should spend more time on the real deep parts of the internet before you start criticizing it.
Right.
It's because it's like you don't know what you stepped into or the history of what you stepped into.
Exactly. Exactly. And, like a lot of
And
people forget that, you know, there are people like me out there where,
yeah,
I'm not doing it to actually be mean. I'm just having fun and playing around. Like
yeah,
it's a total dick move, and I won't lie. It's a total dick move to be there, sit there and find a good
mhm,
hiding spot and headshot you from across the map and be like, "Get good," you know. Um, but at the same time, I can understand how frustrating it could be, and you're gonna get pissed off and annoyed. But understand it's just for fun. Like we're just having fun, man.
yeah,
Let us have the fun. Um,
yeah. And I mean, it's the kind of thing where it's like, you know, like, when I go back and I reflect on like all the Call of Duty that I played, and it's like, it's
right?
like, yeah, like that's like 90% of it of just being like we're giant trolls.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Call of
but it's like, okay, but if you're
or
gonna,
Fortnite.
yeah,
Fortnite
oh
is
yeah,
like the
Fortnite's
ultimate troll
just as
playground.
bad.
Yeah.
It's just as toxic, just as bad. And and you walk away with from it, and it's like, yeah, you get a thick skin,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
and kind of being like, well, yeah, if you're gonna let us talk to the enemy team during the game, specifically during the game, that's exactly what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Because guess what? It turns out that pissing off the enemy team makes them play really bad. Like, yeah, we're kind of here to win.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so like, and so it is kind of a thing where it's like, well, yeah, the response is get good.
Yeah.
And I mean that in both senses, the way as a troll, and that's the literal answer of being
Yeah.
like, dude, like, don't take it. Like, people are gonna say awful, horrendous things on the internet. Don't take it so seriously. It's not about you.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, that's the kind of the biggest thing. That's the kind of biggest criticism I have of some people coming out on the internet and saying some of the stuff about, it's like, oh, it's all toxic and all this other stuff. It's like, you have not seen toxic. It is
Yeah.
so much better than it used to be.
Yeah.
The internet is so much less toxic. You want to
Get it-
if you want
get on-
to see toxic, you go hang out in a league server for like 4 days.
Or Grand Theft Auto. Go hang out in Grand Theft
Go
Auto.
hang out in Grand Theft Auto and some of those private servers. Holy crap! Oh,
I
rip
had
you a
so much
new
fun
one.
with that. Yeah, they will. They will. And they'll snipe you from like literally across the map.
Oh, not to mention the utter like the security on Grand Theft Auto, like the application security on Grand Theft Auto is horrendous. Always
Yeah.
has been. Hackers everywhere. Like, you're gonna get shit on so fast.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
And it's like you just gotta, at some point, you have to be able to not take a thing seriously
Right.
and say it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to let this get so far to me, and just take it for what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Oh man. All right. Well, hey, Lucian, it's been fun. It's been real. I'm gonna go ahead and
Yeah.
end the stream though, man. Um, you'll have to join up with us next week too. So
Sure.
every week, 8:45 for those of you that are still watching, 8:45 Central, I should say. Um, we do every Saturday. We do this stream, and I'm Knight. This is Knight's Weekly News right now. It's gonna be a transition period. I'm doing VD4GM and Knight's Weekly News right now together until I find a good time slot for it to be separated. But Knight's Weekly News is going to be more strictly political, veteran information.
Mm.
And then VD4GM is going to be the esports gaming, tabletop RPG, MMO RPG, all of that. That's what VD4GM is going to be. Knight's Weekly News is going to be the veteran political, essentially a truth news network, where because I'm very much the person that doesn't see left or right. I stand directly in the middle. I just see what's right or wrong. If it's right and wrong, I'm going to call it out. I don't stand right. I don't stand left. I think that if you stand on either side of the aisle, you're probably in the wrong spot.
We're people with opinions.
Yeah, I'm very much a constitutionalist. Like, just live by the law of the land. The law of the land is the Constitution. If you want to go call yourself a lollipop strawberry swirl, I don't care. Like, I don't care what you. But if you look like a man and you talk like a man and you bark like a man, I'm gonna call you a man. All right. If you look like a woman and you talk like a woman and you act like a woman, I'm gonna say you're a man. See, I told you my camera does the same thing.
I've been watching my camera do that for like
There it goes.
the full hour that we've been doing this or something.
Yeah.
Full 2 hours. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, as far as the political bullshit goes, like hold on, what's going on here? I am still here, just listening. Thank our savior and chief,
no.
Donald J. Trump. Okay, that is the troll overlord.
Oh yeah.
It's not savior in chief. It's the troll overlord. All right.
The troll in chief.
Yeah, the troll in chief. He is the ultimate troll. Oh man, gotta love it. So, anyways, but we're gonna end the stream now. I mean, it's 11 o'clock. Well, 11:06. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. This one actually was a good one because it went on for longer than an hour. So, anyways, hey, if you are a veteran or a first responder and you are going through a dark time in your life and you need somebody to talk to, reach out to me. I am here to talk to you to help you guys out. PTSD is a real thing. All right. There are
Oh yeah.
a select few people that will say that it's not real and it's all make believe and blah, blah. They're lying to you. Don't listen to that crap. All right. So if you need help, send me a message. Just like Daddy Bro always says, if you need help, get help. Get help. Getting help doesn't make you weak. It really does make you strong. Um, because you are able to find that camaraderie, somebody that has been through it and can talk you down. I've been through it. I've gone through my trials and tribulations. I still go through them every once in a while. Everybody's going to. Well, I
Oh
say
yeah.
everybody. Anybody that's been through some of the stuff we've been through, we're going to go, hi, can I help you? You cannot eat my salad. The German Shepherd decided she's going to come up here.
Yeah, it's kind of the big thing where it's like if you're suffering, don't suffer alone.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
we're social animals, and saying that it's like, yeah, there's these horrendous things could happen, and especially first responders, military, and vets. Like you guys can see like the worst of the worst, and it's like sometimes you got to talk to people. We can't be completely 100% independent. Like
Yeah.
it's not
Oh, I went
it,
through my
it
time, man.
doesn't work. It
Like,
doesn't work.
I self isolate, and I'm really bad about that. Like if I start
I
going
am
through,
too.
I go through a period where I self isolate, and I'm really bad on it. But yeah, if you need something, reach out to me. I will be more than happy to help you out. And if I can't help you out, at least get you to somebody that can, or I'll get you all the information that you need to find somebody to help you. VD4GM is almost 100% complete. The only thing that we have left is with the IRS getting the 501c3. Um, that's a thing. The next the next thing that is actually happening though too is I will be also launching another business that is in the works right now. I'm working on it. It's coming along. I won't put out too many details, but whenever it is complete and everything is ready to go and up and running, I will definitely bring the stream along to see what is actually going on. Uh, that will actually play into VD4GM with some of the proceeds that actually go into the for-profit side of the business that I'm building right now. Will actually seep into VD4GM, and there's going to be a lot of things going on for the nonprofit side that I'll be doing for veterans, both homeless, at the VAs, stuff like that. All of that is going to kind of leak into the nonprofit for VD4GM. So there's going to be a lot of streams where things are going to be happening. Night's Weekly News might end up being on a logo or something like that, where it's actually VD4GM. Sorry, I'm only one person. I can only do so much. I'm trying, really trying. Um, so yeah, other than that, I hope everybody enjoyed. You guys have a lovely week. Lucian, thank you again, man. I appreciate this was probably the best stream we've had in a long time. So I appreciate that.
I
Um,
appreciate being on and
yeah,
doing this. You
yeah,
know,
no, man. And you're gonna have to come back and join us next week too. I mean, if you're available, that is, you let me know when
we'll
you're
see.
available, and yeah,
We'll see.
yeah, you let me know when you're available, or whenever you are. Feel free to jump in. So, all right, well, you guys take care. Have a good one, and see you guys next time. And oh, there it goes.